Hello everyone, today I'm going to do a production breakdown of my track Free Your Body off my brand new album Evolutions. This track sits right at the center of the peak of the whole album. It's like the highest energy, one of the highest energy tracks on the album. It's just a straight banger. It's not really a melodic tune that like people know me for. It's like made for the dance floor. It's high energy, dark, exciting. Yeah, just all the good stuff. So without further ado, let's listen to it so we know what we're working with, and then we'll go through it. Synths, the MIDI, the arrangement, the production, the sound design, all the stuff you see here on Mixer. It's actually very sparsely processed, this one, because sometimes, it just sounds right. So let's hear it. Banger. Oh. Okay, you get the idea. I love this one. It's such a like homage to classic house music. Most of all, it's sick bassline. Let's just start with the intro so we get that out of the way. So you got the intro piano. Get a nice piano. There's a little echo thing going on here. On the top of the piano. It's subtle, but it just, yeah, it's nice. And then there is a reverse echo, which I will have made from one of these synths. Super minimal, so that when this beat drops, it slaps. So that's made up of this kick drum, synth kick, tuned, tweaked toms on the additional accent notes. Drum synth toms with a little bit of EQ to cut the low end out and boost like the mid frequencies. Or that second note here that's around 300. Drum synth, nothing crazy in the sound design there. Claps on the synth, the drum synth again. You see a pattern here if you've seen some of my other videos. I love this setup. It's like, it sounds just like the classic 909 like house drum machine. So it just instantly gives it a feel and a vibe that like I just can't resist. And I use it when I write as a preset, and then I never change it because it sounds so good. But what I usually do is add some other stuff to layer it in, and that's what I've done here. I've got one on the right that sounds like this, one on the left that sounds like this, two different battery claps from different things. They're just being sent a little bit to a reverb bus. So together they sound like this, stereo. And then with the clap, with the synth clap, they sound like this. That's all three. And then, like I've done before in other tracks, I have added a click. As you can see here, these clicks are left and right. I've just recorded them in like that. And again, you'll see like this line here is the note, and they're either side of the note every time. See, here's the note. Here's the note. That's where the beat is. So each time I've manually done that, and I've done that by hand, so that it creates width and gives it that human feel. So that is being layered in with the other claps. So the combination of all the claps together is this. Pretty cool. 5 claps in total layered. Hi-hat. Drum synth hi-hat. We got it on 16D swing, I think. No, it's C. It's C swing on the hi-hat. Just the rolling hats, that goes throughout, and then I've got the offbeat hat too. Sound design wise, there's nothing crazy going on. They're all just going to the drum bus, which has got the Oxford insulator on it. And then we've got this chord sound. Oh, that is a vibe. That's just a sample. I'm going to bring this in. That is a vibe. I love that. So let's break down what's going on in the bass. The low end is covered by a sub that's got overdrive on it. Wow, I was in a mood when I made this. Wow. So that's just the same thing up the octave. Here's them together. And this is a pluck, I believe. So it's a silent Moog Bass 2 preset, twiddled a bit, and then shortened and compressed. I'm kind of doing that for the middle range, right? Like the low end's cut, and there's a little boost around here. Layered in with this M bass, which is a contact patch. I love like the fret sounds on that. Like that's what it's for. It adds character. And you can see again, I've cut off all of the low end on this. It's just the middle and the high, especially the high and the fret noises and like the real sounds that make it authentic, or just it just gives it that cool character. That's what I want out of this sound. Like when I bring in the sub and the other things together, you'll see they all come together to make a really cool sound. It's got the synth element and it's got the real element. That's everything. And then the only other thing to bring in is these. Classic V3 house organ. Love it. So that's just a contact patch. There's a little bit of EQing to take off the low end and boost the highs. I'm sending it to some chorus. and I am sending it a little bit to some reverb, and it's obviously in the group bus as well. So that's like the initial drop. That literally is it, and those chords are coming from chord trigger. Like I said, in all the dance, like heavy garage, UK garage influence style tracks I like to do, I love using this. It just, it comes up with chords that are different to the ones I would traditionally play on the piano. I feel like I've said that before, but it just, I'm trained to think differently about chords than the machine that like just repeats the same chord over. So it's also like a homage to how the old samplers worked, where you could repitch, but you couldn't, change the chord. So like has a classic sound to it, a classic sound. So that's why this is like just like a classic Chicago house track homage basically. Okay, I'm gonna let it play. So the new things that come in there in that second section are the rides. They're from a battery library. One to the right off the center, just so they don't interfere with the click of the kick. But they obviously always inject a lot of energy. The pitched sine chords, one low, and one high. And again, these are like these are chord trigger. And I've got the sine wave in there, but I've got a decent amount of modulation on the pitch here too. So they've got a good bit of movement to them. Together they sound like this. And it goes from the first like main beat drop back into another build up. Let's see, like this one fits like 3 drops into the space of, I think it's like 2 minutes 30 seconds this track is, and it's got 3 drops somehow. I think that's ludicrous, but I'm here for it. So there's 5 vocals total. First one is unmanipulated, the lead vocal. Free your body. Free your soul. Get lost in the music. Free your body. By my standards, that's not actually a bad take, but still. Then I've got it pitched down a 7th. Free your body. Using pitch wheel, and then it pitched up a 5th. Which is the same, it's actually an octave, obviously. Together they're an octave. Free your soul. Get lost in the music. And I think it's the same exact audio file, so it has like there's a feeling of togetherness of these takes. Free your soul. Get lost in the music. In the same way that like the chord pitcher does that, like pitching up an original vocal idea in this way, harmonizing it is such a fun way to get results that I wouldn't necessarily write. Gives it such a cool feeling. Like I like pitching things and seeing what happens, because sometimes it sounds awful and sometimes it sounds great. Free your body. These are just tracking left and right, like just for the mix and for the group itself, just to sound better. Pretty quiet in the mix, just left and right. Minor processing to sort of back up the main vocal. When you hear it with the main vocal, it just makes it sound more present and big. Free your body. But they don't necessarily you can't necessarily hear them. Free your soul. Get lost in the music. I mean, you can hear them, you know what I mean? But like in the mix overall, no. Get lost in the music. Cool vocals. Weird. So those vocals come in there and then they come in the drop, and I go back to the same piano from the intro. Free your mind. Free your soul. Get lost in the music. And then I've just got this echo. I think I automated it. Yeah, I actually automate instead of using the the tremolo. I automated it. Even not on headphones, you should be able to hear that. That's extreme. That's the only really thing that's coming in new. Oh, besides these Rhodes here, they're just the same chords. They're just the Scarby Blue Ballad Mark 1 EP electric piano. And that's just to help the organ sound new and yeah, that's what's coming in there in that new drop. And then yeah, there's nothing really new. It's just all arrangement. There's very little that comes. It just builds back in slowly. I'll go from here. And then all the elements drop in at 41. Snares. To get that music, I've literally just got the same thing going on. I've just, instead of having it fade out, it just repeats over and over again, and I've got the tremolo on it. One thing I should just go through that I haven't seen is all this processing on the vocal bus. The channel EQ is doing very little. I think that's being used for like automation sweeps. Decent amount of Pro Q on there. So it's definitely controlling that low end, and then it's bringing up that mid and high. Solid bus, just grouping all those 5 different vocals together a little bit. Not too much compression. LFO tool pumping. And then soothe, which we love. I love to do the delta because that's what it's taking out. So wild. Yeah, like I have the sharp, it's the regular setting, the default preset, just depth a bit up, and the sharpness and selectivity both turned up. It's crazy what it's doing. And then I think I've just got de-esser. The yellow is the bits when it's coming. A lot of strong EQing. Where do you see the waveform? It makes sense, but like, yeah, it's aggressive. Honestly, I think that's it. I think that's it. Let's listen to that final drop and vibe out, and I think I'll sign off. You'll see, yeah, there's like an automation cutoff here on the kick. That is everything. Pretty simple track. It says 64, but I can see there's a bunch of like blank channels, and if I deleted all the channels, so I bet it's more in like the 45 to 50 range. But still, absolute banger. Very proud of it. It sits in a really cool time in the album too. Yeah, if you like this, subscribe. If you have any questions or things that I missed, or just like general suggestions for how to improve, like if you have any track requests too, let me know, and subscribe and comments and YouTube, blah 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 blah. You know the drill. And until next time.